Now in this video, we're going to talk about the other areas of the game. So technique development is the first part. So technique is just simply about what to do. The golf swing, being a close skill, is simply just a repetitive motion. Have your 2 checkpoints. We're always trying to create an arc, deliver our hitting implement back to 90 degrees. So to create our arc, body has to rotate back and through with your weight on your left heel, balancing on your toe. And our right wrist always works backwards, works in this direction rather than this way. So our checkpoints for our technique, just a repetitive motion. I check here and then I rotate through. So does that mean you can actually play golf? No, it doesn't, because technique itself is just learning how to hit the golf ball. So what you then have to be able to do is start to introduce the targets. What we've got over here is when you practice, what you need to be able to do is either practice to one target or you practice between 2 targets. So if we're going to practice to one target like what I've got over here, you need to put a circle around that. All right, so distance control is one target with a circle around it. Go back to a prescribed distance, be it 10 meters, be it 20 meters, 50 meters, 100 meters, whatever the number is, and you play shots until you get the balls to finish inside your target circle. In this case, it's a 2-meter circle. Now, the really important things in terms of practicing is make sure you don't put the target size too small. So we want to make sure you can actually achieve good results. So with your distance control, it's one target with a circle around. Now, if you're going to practice your accuracy, if we look out onto the range out here, so if we're looking from this side, I've got 2 black signs here. So accuracy is essentially trying to hit the ball between 2 targets. So it's our tee shots, it's our shots down the fairway, it's the shots into a green between 2 bunkers, things like that. So what you want to do is when you're practicing on a practice fairway, you must always have 2 targets. So when you're on the practice fairway hitting balls out onto the range, never practice to one target, you must always practice between 2. You're trying to simulate what happens on the course. So I'm going to do a video in terms of understanding target size, but essentially the optimum target size is around 10% of the distance you're going. So in this case, this is a 2-meter circle. If I was playing a 20-meter shot, that would be the right size target. So when you're making your size of your target, and we'll do a video on this later on, you want to make sure that you've got a high chance of success. So motivation to practice is really hard. Most people don't like to practice. You want to play games to these sorts of things, but you want to be able to get a good result as well. All right, so with your distance or accuracy control, work your technique first, get that, and then either start playing between 2 targets if we were going out on the range, or one target with a circle around it, and then practicing your distance control. Now, in this video, what we're going to talk about is how to control how far the ball actually goes. So golf is ultimately just an athletic motion. It's throwing a ball. So if I just want to throw the ball a short distance, I'm just going to get an action that looks sort of like this. If I want to go further, I'm then going to have to start to rotate my torso. Now, the throwing action in terms of your wrist action is always going to be the same. Still works this way. What changes is how far my body rotates. So in terms of our swing, to hit the ball different distances, the wrist action is always going to be the same. The difference is how much my body rotates. So on a short shot, if I want to hit the ball a short distance, my wrist will still work the same way. My body's just going to rotate a short distance. All right, and the ball will go a certain length. All right. If I want to hit the ball further, my wrist still works exactly the same way. My feet just get a little wider apart and my body just rotates back and through longer. Effectively, all I'm doing then, if you're going to make the ball go further, we didn't do that one very well, better do that one again. All right, so in terms of the shot that I want to play, my wrist works back and my body just rotates and I just make the ball go a little longer. So that's probably more like a 70-meter shot. Now, if I want to hit the ball even further, effectively all I'm doing is I'm increasing the amount of rotation. So here's my golf swing. My body moves in an arc, my wrist works backwards and forwards. So we have the same amount of golf swing on both sides, but my wrist works this way. So a quarter back and a quarter through is a small swing. If I go half back and half through, in terms of my full rotation, that's a half swing. 3/4 swing will look like this, and then a full rotation will be back here and all the way through. So effectively, when we start talking about a quarter swing, a half swing, and a 3/4 swing or a full swing, we're talking about the degree of rotation. The wrist action will be the same every time. So effectively what you do is we work out, well, what the distance is, pick a golf club for the trajectory that we're after, wrist works backwards, and I'm rotating my body whatever length I want, to hit the ball distance I'm after. All right, so that one's probably like a 70 or an 80, 90 metre swing. All right, and so from a swinging point of view, your wrist action's always the same, and you control everything with what your body does.